Pirates, gold, and near-death experiences make for a great story, but for some people, it was their actual life. Hi everyone, Ken here. Hit that like button and let's explore this house. Born into a world of privilege in Amsterdam, young Joseph De Lamar's life took a dramatic turn at age 4 with the early loss of his father, a respected banker. This twist of fate ignited a flame of adventure in him. As a daring young soul, he ran away from home and stowed away on a Dutch vessel bound for the West Indies, marking the beginning of his lifelong adventure. The sea became De Lamar's first love, and he quickly rose through the ranks, becoming a ship's master by 20 and a captain shortly after. His voyages to the world's ports were not just travels, but a quest for knowledge, each destination enriching his understanding of the world, from finding the best in people to witnessing horrible acts of evil and cruelty. De Lamar's adventurous spirit found a new outlet in underwater salvage during the American Civil War, a venture that proved both profitable and perilous. During one of his salvage dives off the coast of Martha's Vineyard, he had a brush with death. While examining a shipwreck, his diving suit became wedged, trapping him for over 36 hours until he was able to be rescued. From that day on, he gave up diving, but continued with a spirit of adventure. De Lamar voyaged into the heart of Africa, navigating its rivers in a ship equipped with cannons, like an inland pirate, fighting tribes to claim treasures and trading with local villages. His success in his endeavor was as remarkable as it was fraught with danger, not just from sword fights and dodging arrows. No, these were things he and his men could manage. It was the deadly African fever that claimed many of his crew. Back in America, the call of the Wild Wild West lured De Lamar next, where he plunged into the world of mining. His ventures in Leadville, Colorado, and later in Idaho, Utah, and Nevada were marked by spectacular successes, transforming him into a mining magnate. His innovative approaches in mining technology, particularly in the refining processes, set new standards in the industry. Without regard for his workers' safety, his companies became notorious for their job fatality rates, and De Lamar dominated the mines, unearthing loads of copper, silver, and gold, until he had gained a net worth of $29 million, the modern equivalent of nearly $600 million. In 1904, he built an imposing Beaux-Arts-style mansion on Manhattan's Madison Avenue and began trading stocks, only increasing his net worth. By the 1910s, De Lamar had transformed from an orphan stowaway and had become one of America's wealthiest men. He purchased 47 acres of land on New York's Gold Coast in Glen Cove and hired leading architect C.P.H. Gilbert to design for him not only a dream house, but an American palace. Coming in at 60,000 square feet, when it was completed in 1916, it was one of the largest homes to have ever been built in the United States. To begin exploring this colossal estate, we will pull through the front gate and begin making our way up the drive. Winding about the property, every inch of it has been professionally landscaped with hundreds of species of flowering plants maintained by dozens of full-time gardeners. The Beaux-Arts-style mansion was clad in limestone and complemented by rows of ornate balustrade. No surface of the mansion known as Pembroke was left untouched by the masterful hands of stonemasons and artists. Furthermore, not only were the grounds spectacular, but the earth was rammed to form terraces pushing the mansion upwards to tower over Glen Cove as its crown jewel of architectural splendor. Even if you were to bypass the drive and arrive by boat, the long, horizontal frieze between the first and second floor mirrored the parallel shore below. Let's dock our boat on the pier and begin traveling towards the front door from the water. As a carriage arrives to pick us up, we will first travel past the bathing pavilion. Then we can wind around the Japanese gardens, seeing only the 70-foot private water tower breaking our immersion. Finally, we arrive at the sunken garden, the only thing now between us and the house. As we continue forward, butterflies flutter about the lilacs and rose bushes, planted and pruned to be perfectly symmetrical from the garden path. Let's now pass below the veranda and begin making our way inside, moving through the vestibule to arrive in the stair hall. Entering the mansion, we find that it is every bit as grand inside as it is outside, with the limestone-clad stair hall welcoming us to the interior. Directly ahead, and continuing in opulence, the living hall acts as the grand reception room where we will wait for our host to be announced. In the meantime, we can begin looking around, peering into other rooms in anticipation of what comes next. Dining room erupts with an assemblage of culture with wall murals spanning between a gilded cornice and salvaged European wall panels. The space is further decorated with antiques spanning centuries and regions apart, all anchored above an antique Persian rug. To the other end of the living hall, the den is staged with overstuffed furniture, providing a comfortable place for De Lamar to carry on long conversations over cigars. From here, the formal elements of the home begin to relax as we enter the billiard room and realize that one of the largest and most expensive homes in America was designed primarily for relaxation with a small group of friends. Not only does the house contain a billiard room, but there is an entire indoor tennis court concealed behind its facade. But perhaps the most spectacular space lies at the end of the long corridor. Wrapped in columns with floor-to-ceiling windows, the adjoining tropical house was the showstopper of the estate. This entire wing of the house was designed as an indoor tropical oasis, going far beyond a conventional greenhouse to include a circular indoor swimming pool. And in the very center, you could cross a bridge and enjoy the humid air from a pagoda seemingly floating on the water. De Lamar's private water park made headlines in various architectural publications of the time, causing a cascade of similar rooms to be built for other super wealthy individuals. Not even 2 years after Pembroke had been finished, De Lamar suddenly and fatally contracted pneumonia, leaving his mansion to his daughter Alice in 1918. Pembroke was then placed up for sale and purchased by film magnate and founder of MGM, Marcus Lowe, who enjoyed the mansion until his passing in 1927. The estate was passed down to his son, who decided to demolish the mansion in 1968 before marketing the land to developers. Today, a neighborhood with 46 houses occupies the site, along with the Legend Yacht and Beach Club. If Pembroke would not have been torn down, it would still be one of the largest homes in the US, coming in at 26th place. Thankfully, we still have a handful of photos to remember the crown jewel of Glen Cove. Which part of this estate was your favorite? Let me know down below in the comments section. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification turned on so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.